Welcome back, everybody. We are live at the Crandon International Raceway. It's Friday Night Thunder presented by Toyota. Let's go places. I'm Chris Jacobs with Ken Stout, and we are pleased to be bringing you live off-road racing from Crandon, Wisconsin tonight. Ken, it's going to be a great evening.
Tonight we're going to see some. We're going to start off with some UTVs, I believe. Take a look at the 4900 mod UTVs, and then a little bit later on we'll see some trucks here as well, the EMCs.
And right now it's time to get back to live racing, so let's throw it down trackside to Miles, Dave, and Ricky.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, this is going to be another dogfight, and once again in that front row is the man of the mission who just finished first, Mr. Paul Wolf.
Well, Paul Wolf just put on a clinic in that first round, so if he can get that lead again, he's got a complete advantage over the rest of the field.
Yeah, these Ultra 4 USA cars are something to watch for sure. This is the Pro Modified class. We have these guys are racing in one class, and it's going to be one heck of a show.
Well, and as you can see in the front, you look at the approach on the far left, you see the new Can-Am with a different A-arm up over the top. Then you see Paul Wolf with the old style. Now, if you look, the A-arm is underneath, so it gives them a little bit of different room, but Can-Am is really invested in that new style.
Yeah, and that front row is Paul Wolf and Cash Lee Croy. Then it's Tyler Rimreed, Carson Atkins, Brandon Davis, Travis Zollinger, and we are green racing, and Paul Wolf gets the only start. Cash Lee Croy slept a little bit on that green flag, Ricky.
I've been there, but he was asleep at the wheel. He was not ready for that, and now Paul Wolf back out front. Now we see Tyler Rimreed. Looks like he has put himself into second place.
And I meant to ask this question, but it sure looks like it's the same exact car that Paul Wolf just raced last time. So he's pulling double duty with himself and the same car. So 20 minutes plus one lap, this is going to be one heck of a battle.
Now, if you're in the second place and you know that Paul Wolf just dominated that first round, you want to make sure that you do everything that he does and don't try anything different right now, because whatever his formula is, I would try to use it.
He's got a lot of seat time in that car for sure. And Cash Lee Croy trying to go to the outside just a little bit, but Paul Wolf has the traction on the inside. They're at Calamity Corner.
And Tyler Rimreed pulling up in third, so let's see if he can put it together. Watch what they're doing through the rocks. We see that they're pretty evenly paced, but you watch second place as he's working his way.
Oh, and look at this.
Stronger.
Dives the inside. Cash Lee Croy just takes first place away from Paul Wolf. Oh, and he has to check up going to the box. Oh, Cool's corner.
Well, that's the different style. We talked about the car in second. Wolf is with the belt, but the LaCroix has got the shifting. So that is the future of Can-Am. Right now, Paul Wolf is taking a look on the inside.
Lee Croy got in that fluff a little bit, lost some traction, and Lee Croy's car just raced Vegas to Reno just a couple weeks ago. So these cars are definitely getting put through their paces, and Wolf is launching over here.
And this is where the spotters are so important, letting them know they're inside. Now you're clear. You got the track all around you. So these two drivers have to be concerned of each other as we watch Tyler Rimreed trying to pull his way in back 1.1 seconds. So he's got to do something to catch these guys as we see LaCroix get up on top on two wheels, and then
a great bicycle by Paul Wolf, but kept her under control.
LaCroix bicycle on the way in. Wolf bicycle on the way out. That's good racing. So that tells you how hard these guys are pushing themselves through that, and they have to race at that kind of level and push it and get comfortable up on the bicycle as we go through the rockers.
The granite boulders are one of the fan favorites right here in front of the grandstands, making history here for Friday Night Thunder with Ultra 4 USA, all a part of the 55th Polaris Crandon World Championship weekend. And another little bike by Wolf. He is really riding that ragged edge.
Well, I think he's pushed a lot harder in this race by LaCroix than he was in that first race. So he's having to try to find his way around, but LaCroix seems to have a little bit more speed coming out of the rocks. And as you notice, he's doing the right thing, keeping just out of that roost to keep his vision clear.
And it's a great battle up front between Paul Wolf and Cash Lee Croy. Then it's Rimreed, Gibbs, Zollinger, Wells, Davis, Walraven, and Carson Atkins coming from the back.
Paul works his way down into the gravel course. We see LaCroix doing a little bit of a bicycle, using the cushion a little bit more, trying to get a run coming off. But right now, Paul Wolf has the right combination of inside versus outside.
And again, seat time, seat time, seat time. Paul Wolf will be racing the 4,400 races tomorrow and Sunday as well. So he's really, and then he's running this Pro 4 and is side-by-side with Chip.
Well, he's got a lot going on, but he is a driver, and he's just going to get faster and faster as he works through there. We see LaCroix make a run.
Through the Brannick boulders, gets side by side with Holst, has a checkup just a little bit coming into the Box O'Toole's corner.
So what, in my opinion, what LaCroix needs to do is set himself up, not just try every chance that he can to pass Wolf, but set it up for those rocks.
Get a run at
Brannick boulders, get a run through there to get a shot at him. But right now, he is on top of him and pretty much trying to pass everyone, which makes it very difficult.
And this is about a 1.5-mile track on this mid-track here at the Big House in Crandon, Wisconsin. And Paul Wolf out front once again, back-to-back. He just won his Open class. Can he win once again in the Pro Modified? He won last year during his race here as well. He is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Ultra 4 USA.
And I love the speech by his daughter. Go, Daddy.
Go, Daddy. Go fast, Daddy. Love it. Oh, LeCroix. Oh, a huge bicycle. And LeCroix has to check up. So LeCroix gets back around. Cash LeCroix in front of Paul Wolf. They've both been bicycle, and they are pushing hard, Ricky.
Great save, because they're coming out, they're running. Now we see Paul Wolf looking to the inside. He's going to try to put himself in position. But if LaCroix can get a run, he's stronger through the rocks. So if they can go in side by side, and Wolf did a great job. So watch LaCroix shoot to the left, try to get by.
Ooh, and a big donkey kick by LeCroix. Wolf still out front. This is going to be a dogfight for the finish. We still have over 15 minutes of racing going. Do you think these cars are going to hold up?
Well, at this pace, well, the problem was LaCroix went off to the far left with a big, as he makes another run at Paul Cash. At Wolf, that back to finish that is that they're running so hard that I think they're going to finish, but they are definitely going to take their toll on the cars right now as the pace that they're going.
And like you said earlier, Ricky, don't try to pass every single time. Kind of save it for when you have it. And he took a little gamble, got lucky in the Brannick boulders, but hopefully keep that car together.
Well, and for those of you that go out and drive these things on the weekend, or you drive on a farm, what Paul Wolf did was absolutely perfect. When they went on the bicycle, it was flipping to the right, he turned into it and accelerated. You can't do one or the other. You see Paul Wolf not accelerating quite so hard, a little bit softer in the middle of the corner. But if you ever get on two wheels on one in a side-by-side, you turn into the roll, meaning if you're flipping to the right, turn to the right and accelerate to bring that chassis back underneath you.
As they click off another lap, they're heading out for lap number 5 on this 20-minute race plus 1 lap. And LeCroix gets a huge run on Paul Wolf, and is he going to stick it? We'll see. It's going to be a drag race. LeCroix is giving Paul Wolf a run for his money.
And we still have 14 minutes. They're running like it's
plus
the
a lap.
I know, plus a lap. So they're running like it's the last half of the last lap. The pace that they're going, but now we see
LeCroix pulled off.
LeCroix
way off
heard
pace.
Something.
Hate to see that for that young man.
Yeah, he's pulled off. You don't see where he's at. There we see. So
right rear flat tire looks like, and he's going to go ahead and call it his day. There is a hot pit, but he's going to probably drop a lap. So a huge heartbreaker for Cash LeCroix. That young man has a bright, bright future in off-road.
Paul Wolf did that right to the edge coming down. It's probably scarier from here, but he is definitely doing his job. Now he has a huge lead, over 10 seconds over second place, which is going to be Remery.
Tyler
Remery. So this is where I'd love to see Jim Baldwin's yellow flag and bring it back together so we get to see some door banging up to the finish. But right now it is your leader, Paul Wolf, with a commanding lead as he goes into the Brannick's boulders.
And we do not have a competition yellow with Ultra 4. So it's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out.
We'll be right back with more racing from the Forest County Potawatomi Friday Night Thunder. This Forest County Potawatomi Crandon Friday Night Thunder show is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Crown Performance. Know what the pros know. Crown Performance brake lines. And by Polaris. Think outside.
And this is the 4900 Pro Modified class for Ultra 4 USA. And what is a Pro Modified car? You can have hydraulic steering. Aftermarket turbos are allowed. It is based on an OEM chassis, but aftermarket chassis and both sides are allowed. Must use stock suspension pickup points and a 35-inch maximum tire.
Well, and the only place the 35 I think is really going to help you is through the rocks. Other than that, I would probably go with a 32, a little lower profile, less sidewall, not going to lean as much. It's also going to be quicker off the corner. So as what Ken Stout was saying. I give up a little bit in the rocks to make up. I give up 2 seconds in the rocks to make up 10 seconds on the rest of the course.
But you haven't seen tomorrow night's course, the rage on the rocks out back. A 32-inch tire is going to be a disadvantage.
No, that definitely won't work there. But when it comes to this, you have to say, now the rules might say, whatever you run today, you have to run tomorrow.
I don't think so.
I'm
it's
not
a
sure about
maximum of a 35-inch tire. So you could be 32s today and 35s tomorrow if you'd like.
There you go. So you just got to use what's best, but also how is the car geared? If you go jumping from a 35 to a 32, you might run out of straightaway speed and stuff like that. So depending on what you have, I think you're right. You're just going to run whatever you're going to run tomorrow.
And we missed it, Ricky, but it looks like Tyler Gibbs moved into second, and then Zollinger in third, so Remrid's a little off pace, and Zollinger is at that single-seat Can-Am. That is a beautiful car, custom built by Zollinger Racing Products.
Here we see Tyler Remrid looking to the outside. He's going to use that cushion, try to get a run coming off. He looks high, stays high.
A little outside, inside, but doesn't have quite the run he needed as he hits the Polaris Sky Jump.
So Tyler, one of the drivers that's doing multi-duties. He's running the short course, he's running the rocks, he's also running pro light. So he's got a lot going on while he's out there on the course.
Yeah, him and Paul Wolf are racing about the most out of everybody out there I can think of.
Well, then as we're watching you go through the rocks, you can see the suspension has evolved so much with these vehicles. We talked about before. I started as the Yamaha Rhino, just a little bit of a toy, and then people would joke it's a golf cart. Now these things are unbelievable racing cars that you can just go buy. You can go buy, put a seat, put your nets, and you can come race here. I mean, you have to do a little bit more than that, but they're pretty much ready to go.
And Kyle Cheney this year at King of the Hammers put on one heck of a show in a UTV in the Unlimited class. These cars have definitely come a long way, like you said, Ricky.
Yep.
Ooh, a little nosedive by Gibbs, but he was able to keep it under control. So Tyler Gibbs on the bottom right, then it's Travis Zollinger, then Tyler Remrid. So 2, 3, and 4 is extremely tight as Remrid tries to go all the way to the outside at the skybox, and he'd stick it.
Oh!
It does not look like it. They are not holding their line there. That got a little close for comfort.
That was tight right there, and then Gibbs has gone back. Once we see that, and then we see Tyler Remrid trying to work his way back to the inside. So Tyler Remrid trying to work his way up into second or third place.
So right now, second is Travis Zollinger. Oh, Remrid pulls off. Looks like his day is done. Tough break for Tyler Remrid. So now it is Zollinger, then Tyler Gibbs. Oh, he gets it fired back up.
Well, there could be a situation with that hose. If it choked it off, and it could starve it for air and throwing it into a limp mode, and then all of a sudden it stops and it's able to grab a breath of fresh air and then go. So very, very tough break for Tyler Remrid.
And Remrid just had a lap of a 1:15. I believe that's the fastest lap of the day on his last lap around. So to see him go from fast to not at all is a heartbreak. Paul Wolf comes through. Looks like we have about 6 more minutes to go before that white flag comes out. This was a 20-minute race plus 1 lap here at the mid-track at the Big House for the Friday Night Thunder with Ultra 4 USA. And Paul Wolf is having one heck of a night. Is he going to be able to back-to-back win a race? It's looking good for him.
Well, and this is the thing. We saw LaCroix with the new car was faster, but he's still learning that car, and so he unfortunately he broke that. We don't know what happened. We'll try to find out what happened.
Well, he had a right rear flat for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. You're absolutely right. So he had a flat, and that's what bit him. So really, not the teething pains, but when you have a driver that's the level of a Paul Wolf in a vehicle that he knows so well because he's driven that chassis, that style, that shock package, those tires for a couple years, it makes it really, really difficult to beat that guy.
As Travis Zollinger, that single-seat Can-Am with Zollinger Racing Products, is really running a very solid run, sitting comfortably in that second position.
Just curious, they still call that a side-by-side, but there's nobody beside you.
Well, maybe it's a UTV then. Because it's not really a utility vehicle anymore either.
No, it is not a utility vehicle. That is definitely a UTV. But even to say that, they're 100% race cars. But I kind of like the idea of the single seat guy sitting in the middle and stuff like that. But
you can really see the viewing for rocks is amazing in a single seater.
Right, but you don't have somebody down to set your winch and do all that. So how the Gomez brothers do it, all respect, 100% respect for those guys.
But hopefully you don't need to winch here in Crandon. If you got to winch, your day's done.
No, you're absolutely right. But when it comes to the Ultra 4 stuff, if you're new to this and you're watching this for the first time, go to check out some of the Ultra 4 stuff, King of the Hammers, a lot of races around the nation. And also, we'll talk about our Jim Marsden over in Great Britain. They're racing there as well.
Yeah, he just had a win over the last weekend, I believe.
Right now, this is Paul Wolf, who is out in front with a commanding lead. He's got a 19-second lead over Zollinger, and he just seems to be very, very comfortable in the zone.
Yeah, Paul Wolf out of Alton, Illinois with Wolf Racing in his Can-Am X3, part of this pro-modified Ultra 4 USA race. He just won his open class, and he's looking like he's going to lock down the pro-modified class as well. Remember, tonight is basically just a heat race, getting everything set up for tomorrow's Rage on the Rocks. And then he will also be racing the 4400 class tomorrow and Sunday. He's got his Pro 4 and his Champ Series UTV as well.
You can see that those rocks are starting to beat the guys up, and you can see him also with the sun is starting to play havoc on the drivers. He's got his hand up trying to block the sun from his eyes. But the problem with the rocks now is the dirt in between is getting pitched out, so those pockets are getting
a little deeper.
They're getting deeper and deeper, and that's throwing the drivers' heads from side to side. And they run different kinds of neck supports, one to the next gens, to Hans, to Safety Solutions, to make sure that the drivers protect their necks as they're driving, because they are getting thrown side to side. You don't have to crash to get hurt in this, because you're running so hard.
You're absolutely correct. But safety is obviously our number one worry. So we definitely check the cars. We check the cars, check their safety gear, and the Hans, the neck and Hans support is very important in any style of racing. As Paul Wolf heads through the Polaris gravel pit for just, I think the white flag. Is he going to beat the white flag or not? I don't know. We'll have to watch as he comes through Calamity Corner here in just a moment to see if that white flag will be flying or not. I think he's going to beat it by about that 6-7 second mark.
Watch the flag as he goes by. No white flag.
No
so
white
we have
flag.
2 laps to go, Paul Wolf. And now we can see that the time is up. The 20 minutes has expired. Now we have 2 laps to go. So he's got about a lap and 9/10 to go.
2 laps to go. Paul Wolf led both races the entire time for the most part. It is his race to lose. Paul Wolf is running one heck of a race. And then second position is Travis Zollinger, then Tyler Rembrandt, Tyler Gibbs, Brandon Davis, Dwayne Wells, Matt Walraven, and then Hanson, LaCroix, and Atkins are out of this race. Great to see Rembrandt back in action. We saw him stop earlier, but he's still sitting in that 3rd position. Paul Wolf really on the wheel here, running one heck of a race as he's going through the barn turn, heading towards the sky jump.
When they brought a lot of dirt, you see that clay house, getting that blue groove on top. They have done a lot to import dirt here because naturally it is sandy and rocky here. So if this is not native soil that is on the ground. All that clay they trucked in. You can imagine a track that's almost a mile long, how much clay they brought in here.
This track is 1.75 miles long.
So there you go. Imagine 2 feet of dirt all the way around as we see the white flag comes out.
So 1 lap to go as we're in the Brannock Boulders with our race leader, Mr. Paul Wolf with Wolf Racing. Is he going to back-to-back win tonight? It's looking good as he's heading through the Box O'Tools for his final time tonight. Up next will be the Everyman Challenge. We'll have the 4800 Legends and the 4500 modified cars out there. So still more racing coming tonight. What a great night.
Well, this is awesome for Paul Wolf because he has time to relax, time to walk, look around at the track, take some time, but also save his equipment because they're running that exact same car tomorrow. So they go in, maybe change the belt, maybe look at the change. Is there any metal in the filters? Whatever they need to do, but get it ready for tomorrow's race because that's going to be the hard one.
That's the one with the trophies. That's the one for the cash. As Paul Wolf heading through the Polaris gravel pit for his last time this evening. One more jump and one more turn to go, and the checkered flag will be flying for Mr. Paul Wolf.
As Paul comes down, you can see very relaxed, very comfortable, but notice that sun in his eyes. That plays havoc. Once your eyes dilate, you can't see that.
And the checkered flags, once again, back-to-back wins for Mr. Paul Wolf, winning once again. What a great, great evening for Mr. Paul Wolf with Wolf Racing and the number 1018 in memory of his daughter. That's October 18th of his daughter's birthday. I absolutely love that number. So what a great run we have there. Travis Ollinger looked like in that second position, then Tyler Rimreed. So an amazing night of racing. We still have a lot more to go before we're going to close this thing out. So we're going to step away, and we'll have some awards coming up here in just a moment.
Welcome back to the Forest County Potawatomi Friday Night Thunder presented by Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back, everybody, to Crandon, Wisconsin for the 55th Polaris Crandon World Champions. We are knee-deep in Friday Night Thunder presented by Toyota. Let's go places. And we just saw Peter Wolf dominate another race, and he's at the podium with Pam Hall. Pam.
Thank you so much. Tyler Rimreed, here you are up here in this number 3 spot. Your dad was in the number 1 spot on the last race. Tyler, you're getting a lot of seat time out here. You guys have 7 different race vehicles out here between Champ and our Ultra 4 USA. You got a smile on your face. How do you feel?
Yeah, feeling pretty good. Thankful to be here. This is an amazing track. Thank you, Crandon, for putting this amazing event on. Obviously, not how we wanted that race to go. I wanted to give Paul a run for his money. We know this track. We know it good. The car shut off like 5 or 6 times, and then I was just fighting everything I could to get it started back, and then I was just fighting for every position to get back there. And then, later in the middle of the race, I think the guys were starting to push the pace in the rocks, so I'm like, well, if we want a shot at the spot, we just got to do it. I just didn't want to get sore afterwards because I'm going to go race in the Cup race after this. But, yeah, just super thankful. Obviously still up on the box, still happy with that. Just I wanted to give him, not for him to win. And huge thanks to Can-Am, Maxis, my whole family, mom and dad for supporting this dream, all my crew members, the Schmidt family, everybody. It's a huge team sport. And then, yeah, G-Force Racing, DFS Engines, and then everybody else I forgot. I appreciate you guys, and thank you guys so much. And then in the Cup race, you better be cheering for me. We're going to go for that dub.
Travis Ollinger, you are always one to reckon with out here at Crandon, also in all of our other races that you race in as well for Ultra 4 USA. How do you feel about the track that you just ran?
Man, the track was fun. It was way better to run it in my Pro Mod car with some power steering. I spun out in the first race and knocked power steering out in my car, and so battled with that the whole first race. Kind of wore me out a little bit, but came back and got on the box here at Crandon. That's what we live for. So,
Mr. Paul Wolf, come on down here. You went from first place in the Open to first place in the modified class. Are you wore out right now or what?
No, we're ready to go. That's exciting. It's fun, especially racing against Travis and Tyler. Man, these are good people, so I can't ask for a better people to be on the podium with.
Well, and here you are. You completely dominated that race just now. You were out front, never looked back. I mean, you had almost, from my vision or my view, it looked like you had about a half a lap lead on all these guys. I mean, going out there persevering, did you have any issues?
No, we were doing pretty good. In the first one, we had some mechanical issues at the very end of the race. The car went into limp mode, so I was a little panicked. I want to get out front. That way, if it did it again, I might have time to fix it. But I give Travis a lot of credit. He makes awesome parts. I run a lot of ZRP parts on my car, and I'm surprised he sells them to me.
Thanks a lot, Pam, and congratulations to Paul Wolf with the double back-to-back wins here at Crandon. The sun is going down, the temperature is dropping a little bit, but don't you worry, we got a ton of more off-road action on the other side of this break.
This Forest County Potawatomi Crandon Friday Night Thunder show is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. El Bandito Yankee Tequila. Break out the Bandito. And by Buzz Electric Bicycles. Buzz through life.
Welcome back, everybody, to Crandon, Wisconsin. We appreciate you joining us here for Friday Night Thunder presented by Toyota. Let's go places. And you know what? It's time for more racing. So the place we're going to go is back down to the booth and rejoin Miles Hasselquist and Ricky Johnson.
Thank you, Chris. We are about to kick off the Everyman Challenge. This is the 4500 Modified and the 4800 Legends class. We'll have 2 races going on at the same time. This is going to be one heck of a show, Ricky. It looks like they're about to take off, and Brian Trimp in that green car on the front just put a brand new supercharger on that car, so he's going to give Ryan Webb a run for his money off this start. And then behind him is Jesse Oliver, and then Bailey Cole, and then Larry Bagwell and Reed. And it is Brian Trimp with that brand new supercharger getting the lead over Ryan Webb. So Trimp out front early, looking good.
Trimp looking good, and you can see and hear the horsepower we got going on here. But these vehicles really aren't built for this. They're built for desert and rock racing. But these are the vehicles that can say do everything. And if you notice, everybody pushing to the outside. That wet is definitely giving them some troubles. So we're going to see as they come down, he's got to get himself up to that cushion. Because watch him slide straight across, right up to the outside, and there we go.
And like we were talking earlier, Ricky, I like to call these cars the Swiss Army knife of off-road, because you've done desert, you've done rocks, well, and short course. These cars can do them all, and do them pretty well, if I'm not mistaken.
And when you watch them go through those rocks, we saw the side-by-sides with the UTVs bouncing through. Watch, these guys aren't even going to lift. They're just going to fly across the top of them like they're not even there.
As Brian Trimp enters the Brannick Boulders with Webb right behind him, they're taking a little bit easy. Yeah. Remember, this is 20 minutes plus a lap on those 37-inch DOT tires. So these are not race tires. These are the same things you have on your Jeep and your pickup.
Well, and what I love is that all the manufacturers out here, everybody from Toyo to Maxxis to BF Goodrich, a lot of people are out here, and these are the tires that you can buy and put on your passenger vehicle at home. So they're learning to make you a better, safer tire.
Yeah, Trimp out front is on Mickey Thompson. I mean, yeah, there's all the manufacturers out here. And Brian Trimp out front early, and then Webb, Ryan Webb, then Bailey Cole, then Jesse Oliver. And then Brandon Reed out back.
Well, and tomorrow, imagine that, when they're out there, out in the back with the lights, it's going to be really tough as we're watching them as he works his Trimp works his way around what they call the barn corner, and then the sweet jump as they go down into the gravel pit. So this used to be, it was exactly that, just a giant gravel pit with rocks and everything, but they've done so much widening this course to make it to where the spectators can see everything, but the drivers have multiple options to race back and forth.
Yeah, spectating, you can't get much better than the Big House. And then we added the Brannick Boulders right in front. And then tomorrow night, the Rage on the Rocks out back. We have a great spectator area out there, but it's so much fun watching all of these guys and gals battle all day long during the 55th Polaris Crandon World Championship weekend. It's going to be a heck of a show, Ricky.
And now let me ask you a question about this class. Does everybody have a straight front axle, or can you have independent?
Straight axles in both of these classes, yes. So what is a straight axle? It's a live axle, correct? It's not independent front suspension.
So it does move up and down, side to side, but it is tied together. So basically you have a rear end of the car with a different ring of pinion, just like the old school Jeep.
Like an old school Jeep, yep, that's what I was comparing to.
Yep.
And and Brian Trimp blew something. That is a tough break for him. He is pulling off the course. Tough break for Brian Trimp. Hate to see that. Looks like it's antifreeze or something, so he must have blown a radiator hose, or you know what? He was having issues with a supercharger overheating, and it is liquid cooled, so I'm going to almost guess that his supercharger got a little hot and popped the line, and that's just a guess.
But we're looking, as you can see that water running down. That's not oil or anything from the transmission down below. You can see the water dripping as it goes down past the harmonic balancer and onto the rear end. So that is water. It's steaming.
Yeah, it's not smoke, it is steam.
Yeah, so right there, he got the warning probably before his light, just that big burst of steam in the face.
Yeah, hate to see that for him, but now the man of the hour right now is Mr. Ryan Webb. He is out front in that Jimmy's 4x4 chassis with that Lickle Molly wrap on the side. Brand new wrap. Absolutely love the look of this car, and Ryan Webb in the Brannick Boulders out front.
And Miles, everybody here is running full hydraulic steering, correct?
Yep, explain the hydraulic steering,
so
because you've driven both.
Yeah, and I didn't like it. Because I love the fact that it was so nice and so polite to my hands when you're beating through these rocks, but it does bleed and the steering wheel does move around as you go, because I'm very much a fanatic in our driving classes telling people that you got to know where 9 and 3 is on the wheel. Well, it changes every time. 9, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It changes all the time, but they need that because if you run a steering box, which some of the guys are doing in the unlimited cars.
They're starting to cross over a little bit for sure.
But they weren't able to take that kind of shock back and forth, and so you were beating up a steering box or a rack of pinion or a steering rack up front, so you had to go with the full hydraulic. But it does, you watch the drivers swatting flies, as we say. A lot more steering wheel action to know where that's at.
Oh, and it looks like Bailey Cole is heading to the hot pits. Not sure what's going on. He had a steering issue in practice yesterday, so hate to see Bailey Cole pull off. Remember, today is just their heat race, but Bailey Cole is pulling into the pits with getting a jack. I didn't see a flat tire, but something's going on with him. Tough break. So let's run through the list once again. We have Ryan Webb. We just saw Bailey Cole in the pits. And we have Larry Baglow, Brandon Reed, Jesse Oliver, and Brian Tremp pulled off the track. So
Tremp is 2 laps down, and now we see Bailey Cole. He could possibly go a lap down, but we're talking, this is qualifier for tomorrow, so he needs to get back out there and do some laps so that you stay ahead of anybody else that DNFs.
Yeah, just like Brian Tremp obviously is going to start at the back of the pack as he dropped out the earliest. Tough break for him, but Ryan Webb is really looking good out there. That 717 out of Bossier City, Louisiana with Kryptonite Racing.
Well, and I love that this is an international sport. We talked a little bit earlier about our UK buddy, but I love that we're seeing people from Louisiana, Florida, Texas, California, Wisconsin. This is pretty much a nationwide sport. I love how many rock crawlers, I'm not going to say rock crawlers, Ultra 4s there are.
Well, they are rock crawlers, but they can also go fast here at the Big House in the desert at King of Hammers and do a little bit of everything. Love the versatility of the Ultra 4 cars.
Well, and I love when they get interviewed down on the podium, ask them if they did any changes. Have they lowered their suspension? Have they done something to make it a little bit more forgiving and drivable on this short course?
They definitely do different setups for sure, and on short course specific cars. So in our rules, you do have to run a front winch unless it's short course. This is short course, so some of these guys and gals take off their rear spot, their rear tire. You can see they take off their winch up front, so they're trying to get lighter. So that messes with your suspension, as you well know.
That changes everything you got going on. And with this, as much weight is in the front, I don't know if taking off that back wheel is going to help you or hurt you. You'll notice when they come off the jumps, the nose drops down because there's so much weight bias to that front. That rear might help you with traction as well as keeping the vehicle balanced when you're going to the corners and off the jumps.
So there's Brandon Reed out of Baroda, Michigan, still pushing strong, part of the 4500 modified class, and he's got a left rear tire.
No. He has some smoke, but I want to point out that he's running his spare. So some of the guys are going to keep that weight bias. When we were doing some stuff with the guys from Laser Nuts, they found out that putting more weight, they put a big metal plate back there to get some more bias towards that rear. So making it drivable, sometimes lighter, is not always better.
That's a good catch there, Ricky. Thank you. As Brandon's still pushing his way through. We have a couple comparators. We saw Larry Baglow just a minute ago. He's all the way from Canada coming down across the quarter racing with us with the Ultra 4. Great to see him as well. As Brandon Reed heading around the spotter tower.
Still have 7 minutes to go. Webb still with a pretty commanding lead. He's got a 24-second lead over both. How do you say that?
Baglow out of Canada. And you can tell he's from Canada when he comes and talks to you, eh?
Well, you're in Wisconsin, dear, so you gotta watch. They pronounce, and then you go to Minnesota, they pronounce the O's. So we're all pretty close, and they're all brothers up here. But unbelievable weather we're having here as we watch the leader Webb as he works his way through the boulders.
And let's talk about the weather. It's been a little rainy off and on, but that it soaked in the track all. It rained pretty good overnight. It soaked this track really nice, and it is perfect racing conditions here at the Big House.
Well, my son got after me. I said, "God, the weather's perfect." He said, "Shut up, you're gonna jinx it." So you gotta watch, because they say if you like the weather, hang around 10 minutes and it'll change.
We've seen it be pretty rowdy up here in Crandon, Wisconsin. That rain can open up and really make a bad day out of it.
You see some clouds way over the distance. Next thing you know, they're on top of you. But right now, everything is looking good. I think the weather that we did have was actually great for the track. We need a little bit of that because when it rains as light as it did, it has a chance to absorb into the track a lot better. And they also were very good about working the dirt to make sure that it works well.
And speaking about the dirt, I mean, the Flanneries have done an amazing job of making this track what it is. So a huge shout out to all the volunteers, Crandon, Marty, Tina, the Flanneries, Ultra 4 USA, all the media, safety, USAC racers, fans. Without every piece puzzle, we would not be racing here during the 55th Polaris Crandon World Championship. It's been an amazing weekend, and we're just getting started as we see Ryan Webb once again out front.
We see he's got just over 5 minutes to go, so we still have a lot of racing. But, you know, as Dave Cole said, this is pretty awesome. We did have live racing here one time at ABC Wild World of Sports with a big crash in Turn 1 with the Torque Series. It was pretty crazy, but now we're live on MAV TV. What an amazing situation that we have right here. We also have Chris and Stout down there taking care of the business in the booth. I'm up here with you, Miles.
Man, Ricky,
you know what this is? This is badass.
This is a good time, isn't it, buddy? We're having an amazing time. It's so much fun watching these guys and gals battle it out there. Ryan Webb really laying it out there. Let's see if fastest lap time right now is Ryan Webb with a 1:29.174, so a little bit off of the UTVs. Because I believe that is a 1:14. So yeah, we're about 14 seconds off pace. So that goes back to that power to weight ratio. Those UTVs have came a long way. But just wait, tomorrow and Sunday we'll see the 4400 Unlimiteds, and those are going to be some fun ones to watch.
Well, and just to go down the list, you have the Who's Who, you have Von Gibbs, Shannon Campbell, you have Lauren. You have so many
stacked field.
It is a complete stack field, and we have factory support from everybody from Toyota, Ford, the Broncos, everything. So this has got everything that a spectator is looking for. So I hope you guys hunker down with us all weekend long, because we got great racing coming your way.
And we have the Greaves running those Toyotas out there. They're really screaming out this weekend. I can't wait to watch that Cup race on Sunday. Obviously, I love some Ultra 4, but there's nothing quite like the big house with the Pro 4 completely pitched around and just dancing like a ballerina out there on course.
Last night they did a couple great honors for people. Tom May got an award for a guy that's been on here for years, but they also retired 2 numbers to 2 unbelievably studs, legends, and heroes. Rick Huseman and Kyle LeDuc, that we lost way too soon. They're very young at the prime of their life. To situations out of our control, but they retired those numbers. Number 36 for Rick Huseman, number 99 for Kyle LeDuc. And I said it before in one of the earlier races that Kurt LeDuc said something so beautiful about how we were raised in a big house with no windows, no roof, no doors. We live on dirt floors. But legends are made here, and those 2 numbers will live forever.
Forever, especially here in Crandon.
Here in Crandon, yes, and for all short course racing. So let's not bring us down too much. I mean, we want to throw those guys respect and love, but right now we don't want to take anything away from Webb, who is out front and doing everything that he needs to do.
And Team A right there, there's Larry Baglow, and then switching back to Ryan Webb in the Polaris gravel pit. Then we have Brandon Reed, Bailey Cole, Jesse Oliver, and Brian Trimp are all a few laps down, so tough break on them early in the race. But again, today's just their heat race. They still have moments to shine. Tomorrow night on the Rage on the Rocks with the big rocks out back, it's going to be a fan favorite for sure.
And this is why we said Bailey Cole needs to get back out there. So second row outside is not a bad place to start this race. So unfortunately for Trimp, that he is all the way on the back row. Now, when you have to pass that many guys, even though it's only 6, a lot of things can happen, especially with these open wheels. It gets a little sketchy when you start overlapping tires.
It can get interesting in a hurry. And talking about Bailey Cole, he has brought back the Trent Fab chassis, OG number 1, that I believe they built that car 10 years ago. And I was looking it over yesterday, and they've revamped it, and it's a great looking car. So I hope to see him have some success this weekend.
And that's one of the things that I love about this class. As you said, you've seen chassis out there for over 10 years. And even if they crash, you replace a tube, it's chromoly, they're built safe. You can take a car that's been out there for a long time and start going at it, and then you're not breaking the bank. I mean, it is expensive to race.
Nothing's cheap out here.
Nothing's cheap, don't get me wrong. But if you want to have something that you can race for the next 10 years, this is the class for you.
And exactly, so a lot of 4400 Unlimited cars can be retired into this class. That's kind of the way it was initially made, but now a lot of people are building specific 4800 Legends car. But again, the technology grows so fast out here that it's a great place to dumb down a 4400 car, put a single shock, some smaller tires, and come out racing very competitively. That's an extremely competitive class.
Well, and it doesn't matter what you're driving. You're driving 1010s. If you're driving, we're going to see class 11s out here. Air-cooled Baja, or not even Baja bugs, just bugs. And if you, to drive those fast, and you're going to be amazed at how fast they do go, you have to run them on the edge. And that's what these guys are doing as we're watching Webb as he gets closer to the finish. It looks like this time, well, no, he just passed the finish line.
Passed. So next time around for Ryan Webb will be the white flag. As there's Larry Bagwell getting ready to hit the skybox jump and the old dozer.
So for a driver, I think that's one of the scariest jumps because you're drifting the car side. If you're in a four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, whatever it is, you have to set your chassis just right before you get there. Because if you're overcorrecting, it can snap back on you and really get a hold of you. So that's one of those that you can't see over the jump. You got to hang on.
And there's Ryan Webb, our physical race leader at the barn turn. So he's just about 40 seconds away from the white flag flying for Ryan Webb. What a great run by him out of Bossier City, Louisiana with Kryptonite Racing, that Jimmy's 4x4 chassis. He's been racing this car for a very long time. He usually has his son Blaine riding shotgun, but here in Crandon, we do not run co-drivers.
Well, and notice that even with the all-wheel drive, how much they're getting understeer. What I mean by that is they're turning the wheel in. That blue groove, the hard part of the course that you see right, as he comes around to take the checkered flag, very hard, very slick. But here we got a winner, Miles.
Well, no. White flag's coming out. You're getting ahead of yourself, Ricky. White flag is out for Ryan Webb as he enters the Brannock Boulders for his final time this evening. We will use this same exact track tomorrow, plus the Rage on the Racks out back for Crandon Land. It's going to be one heck of a show. We are winding down for Ultra 4, but up next is the Pro Light and Pro Buggy battle, and then the Class 11s.
Which is going to get a little sketchy.
It's going to be fun to watch.
Because watching them go door to door, they both have their strong points. But
speaking about strong points, we're going to bring in Ken Stout up to the booth for that one.
Yeah, speaking of strong, I mean, wow. Got the big block coming up here. We're going to have to turn the microphones down because he can smoke me when it comes to this announcing business.
And in a race car, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. He's a jack of all trades. He's the Ultra 4 of announcing and racing. He does it all.
I love it. As Ryan Webb battling a little bit of lap traffic. Looks like that's Brandon Reed. And so Ryan Webb getting ready to head into the Polaris gravel pit for his final time this evening.
Now, Webb has put everybody a lap down. He has lapped the fields. Actually, no, he's not. I'm sorry, I take
everybody
that back.
but Bagwell.
But Bagwell is almost a lap behind. He's 107. So here we go. We're coming to the finish, and this is the point, Miles, that you worked so hard for.
And he's going to do it. And last year at this same corner on the final lap, he went upside down. Not tonight. The checkered flag is out for Ryan Webb, winning the 4,800 Friday Night Thunder Everyman Challenge race. Great race by Ryan Webb with Kryptonite Customs. So Ryan Webb just finished up his race. It's been a great day of racing. So thanks everybody for staying tuned. We're going to step away for just a moment and then throw it down to Pam Hall.
This Forest County, Potawatomi, Crandon Friday Night Thunder show is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Yokohama Tire. Make every drive a performance. And by Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive.
Welcome back, everybody, to Crandon, Wisconsin for the 55th Polaris Crandon World Champions. We are knee-deep in Friday Night Thunder, presented by Toyota. Let's go places. We just witnessed a very exciting race before the break, and for highlights of that, let's throw it back to Miles Hasselquist.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, what a great race we had for the Everyman Challenge. It was Brian Trimp with that early lead, with that huge horsepower, but had a little bit of issue early on. It was a tough break, but it was so much fun watching this battle go on early, and there it is right there. I believe, again, it was a supercharger. It's a liquid-cooled. That's my guess. I think that's what happened. Lost his water. Tough break. He was talking about it was getting hot earlier on, and there's Bailey Cole, who had a great run going until he didn't. He had to go in the hot pits and got it, but I do believe He salvaged third position, so a great run in the hot pits, and then it was all about Ryan Webb the rest of this race. He did a great job out there, and again, last year he rolled on that final corner. I'm glad to see him hold it on together, but a great run for the Friday Night Thunder for the Everyman Challenge of Mr. Ryan Webb with that Liquid Moly Jimmy's 4x4 chassis with Ultra 4 USA.
Let's check in once again with Pam Hall.
Thank you so much. I am here with third place finisher, Mr. Bailey Cole. Here you are up here in Crandon on the podium up here in this third position. How do you feel?
Oh, great. I made a little bit of a dumb start, pulled off all my tear-offs in turn one, and then I was a little blind after that, chasing this guy down. But he was tough to beat, and we'll get him out there in the main, right?
All right, now right here in the number 2 spot, Larry Baglow, how you feeling?
Oh, warm. That was a rush. That was first time here, man. Couldn't ask for better conditions. Great fans, great people.
All right, here we are right here in this number 1 spot. Ryan Webb, how you feel?
Whew, relieved. Man, finally got a win here.
Yes, exactly. I mean, this is our heat race for tomorrow. You can come back and do it again tomorrow as well.
Like Bailey was on my heels the whole time. I couldn't hear the radio, and I just driving like crazy.
I'm Ken Stout, and from all of us here on NAV TV, we hope you enjoyed all the racing action from our coverage of the 55th Polaris Crandon World Championships.